And they read it today, but I didn't know if we were not too long.
Yeah.
I was pulling right.
Right.
He's an okay guy.
Welcome, everyone. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. If you could, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Moving on with the agenda. Commissioner Wiki, would you lead us in prayer?
Sure. Let's pray. Lord, we ask that your presence would be with us tonight. We ask that you'd be in our conversations, that you'd lead us and guide us, and we ask for your wisdom. We also pray for our first responders here in this city, pray for their safety, and that you would bless them and their families. And we also pray for the veterans here in this city. God, let them feel honored, especially this week on Veterans Day. So, Lord, we just give this all to you. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, City Clerk.
Commissioner Burr.
Here.
Commissioner Boring.
Here.
Commissioner Wiki.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Commissioner Harrington.
Here.
Commissioner Abs.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Vice Mayor Mullins.
Present.
Mayor Perez.
Here. All right, next on the agenda is proclamations and presentations, and we have none. Next on the agenda is the visitor section. If we have any visitor that would like to make a public comment for items not listed on the agenda, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address, and you will have 2 minutes.
Jamie Kreitz, 66181 North Lakeview. Spoke to you guys last month about city inspections on the rentals. They're 2 years right now, and I would like them to go to 4 years. Most of us are 90+% compliant. Our tenants don't like being trampled through every couple years, and feel like it's a waste of our time and money and the city's time and money. So I would like you to consider 4 years rental inspections instead of 2. If you have any questions, you can ask me at any time.
I think you have an update, or you have your,
I know that, and Will Pritchard's here, but I know he's looking at some changes to the property maintenance ordinance anyway to be bringing in the future, and that was one topic that was going to be under consideration for the changes. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will that go to the planning commission first? What's the process?
that comes to the commission.
All right.
It's not part of the zoning, not
Okay.
part of the zoning ordinance.
My apologies.
Yep.
thank you, James. Welcome.
My name's Alvy Wall. I live out on Lafayette Street, out in the country, but my business is here in the Kirsch Building, 210 Broader Street. And I know the city's got a homeless problem, but I've definitely got a homeless problem, and I don't see anything being done about it. I can't afford it anymore. I got homeless living behind, I think it's the Napa store. I don't know how many are back there, but we seem to be a perfect target for it, because one of the things we do is our dumpster is full of what we call mini bulk bags. They're like 3.5 foot square. They're white, and they're semi-waterproof. So it seems like, I don't know, maybe every other third and fourth day, they've trashed our dumpster, pried the lid off, thrown everything out of it to get the mini bulk bags so they can build their city. We have tarps that cover our swing out, which is what we swing out under the truck to unload the corn. We've been buying a tarp once a week. Tired of buying tarps. They've been pulling our electrical cords and stuff out of our equipment. Who knows what the hell they're doing with them. Tired of fixing that. I don't know what the city does with homeless people, whether you just turn a blind eye, but there's a whole damn city back there, and it seems like a few of us are paying the price for it. What are you guys doing for the homeless, or to the homeless, or to take care of the homeless? I don't have a problem with them, but when they start tearing up my crap when I'm in the middle of my season, I can't afford 2 days down because they pulled the electrical cord out of my swing out, and I gotta go get another one. Or they've stolen half the shit I got out there. Or they smashed the locks off my little hut that we use to watch the corn when it's getting unloaded. Or they pick the locks, or who knows what. And then, so if I go bitch at them, well, that's just gonna make it worse. And then they're gonna damage even more stuff. So I need you guys to do the work, not me. I'm tired of getting in there and having to clean up my parking lot because to get to the mini bulk bag, they've thrown everything else out that we put on top of it. I can't lock it up any better. They just pry the bar off or pry the lids open. I don't know if I've got more than 2 minutes, but I need someone to tell me what you guys do for the homeless. As it is, I got a guy who sits out in front of my house, out in the country. For 2.5 weeks, he slept in the ditch across from my house, and the county wouldn't do shit for me. They wouldn't tell me who he was. They would tell me that they know about him. So I asked him, so, okay, what's his deal? We can't tell you that. So my mother lives right across the street. She's 85 with dementia, and my stepdad's 77, not in the best of shape. And I got a homeless guy that I have no clue who he is, sleeping in the ditch, and the county tells me nothing. So I'm already pissed off about that. So when I come here, and if you guys tell me, well, there's nothing we can do about the homeless, that's just gonna send me over the edge. 'Cause I'm tired of it.
All right, you're at the 2 minutes. Do we have any response
Well,
for?
I guess I do have a question for you, Mr. Wald. Have you reported the incidents of damage to the police department?
Not yet.
Okay. I would say that would be the first step, is if you're having homeless people damage your property, we need a police report to start.
It doesn't matter. You know
Well-
why? Because Leonard Ag reported it to you guys where they stripped all the wiring out of the trailers. And Iceberg has reported, I don't know how many times. You know what gets done? Nothing. So for me to bitch about a little bit of problem with my dumpster, if you're not doing anything about them stripping trailers and causing all the damage over there, what do you give a crap about my dumpster for? But I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of having to replace the thing on my swing out, clean up my parking lot all the time, watch the homeless at 3 o'clock in the morning drive through, because I work till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes. And it doesn't matter. I can put all the cameras, all the lights, it doesn't matter. They smash the locks off all my stuff, they sleep in my hut, trash it. They stole the salamander, they stole all the things I cover my swing out with. So what happens is I get there in the morning, if it snowed like it did the other day, snowed, froze, my swing out, it's frozen solid. Why? Because they stole the cover off it.
What I can tell you is that when we've had similar incidents with homeless that have been encamped on private property, we've had the property owner contact us and tell us that they wanted those individuals trespassed. We work to trespass them from their property. So if they're living in a property that's within the city limits and the property owner wants them trespassed from that property, they need to contact the police department. If they're damaging property or damaging your property, you need to file a police report. That's the very beginning of us being able to address the situation.
So who are all the homeless? Are they just homeless, or are they illegal immigrants? What is the deal with it? Do you guys even know? There must be 50 of them back there. Do we know who they are?
Specific individuals,
So no one's they've never been arrested or picked up or ran?
I mean,
I'm sure law enforcement has some contact.
I would say it's a revolving system of people. So it's not just one person. It's not a group that is continual. It may be this person today, it may be that person
So if they're
tomorrow.
an illegal immigrant, do we just let them go and turn them back loose? Just curious. I should be able to get that answer.
I've been out there many times, and some of those folks just want, they choose to live that way. And the reason why I tell you that is because I grew up borderline homeless, so that, to me, that's a sensitive topic. So when I'm out there trying to help, that's the lifestyle that they choose.
You can choose to live that way all you want. Stop tearing up my crap.
No,
I mean, it's
I
costing me,
agree- I agree
it's costing
with
me
you.
time. I don't have time.
No, I agree with you.
So we just don't
Please,
do anything.
please submit a police report if there's an issue.
police report.
And if you're not getting satisfaction from the police department when you submit that police report, you can come talk to me.
All right. Right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Where's this property? The business?
He's in.
Anyone else?
So that's.
Oh, the big one, okay.
Welcome, Barry.
So it is the little one.
Good evening, Mayor. Barry Cox, 1421 South Marabee Street. Just a quick one. Just wanted to congratulate you on being reelected mayor.
No, thank you, Barry.
Two of the items that you mentioned as your primary targets for the next year. One of them I'm very pleased that hopefully the city can look at, which is the updating of the charter. The other one I'm less pleased about, which is the zoning code, which, if I'm not mistaken, we just did was a complete revision of it in just the last year. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to have planning commission and staff go through that whole process again after it's just recently been done. So that's my comment tonight.
You know, I appreciate that. I would like to see us down the road work with the commission and put a task force in place with citizens and whatnot to really go through those rules and ordinances to make sure that those are our rules that we want to live by. I just hear way too many complaints. Thank you, Barry. Any other visitor? Okay. Moving on with the agenda, with the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
And support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next is the approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
So we have a motion? Second. And support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next is the unfinished business. We do have an item, the recycling ordinance, second reading. Mr. Andrew Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners. Included in your packet was a copy of the ordinance as previously discussed at the last meeting. That was redlined with two minor changes in two sections, changing language from dwelling units to residential units. This is, residential units is the ordinance's definition of billable units under the program, and that was just a small change I saw that needed to be corrected. Secondly, following citizen feedback from the previous meeting, kind of questioning the inclusion of multi-unit rental properties in the program, staff did take a look at that. We hadn't discussed it in the meeting, so I wanted to provide what we had talked about at the last meeting as well as an alternative. The alternative language reduces the amount of properties that are included in the program, changes the ordinance, so it removes, it only mandates that properties with 1, 2, or 3 dwelling units, so that'd be things like single-family homes, whether owner-occupied or rental, duplexes and triplexes, be mandated to be within the program. That would
Andrew, could you just pull your mic a little closer?
That would exempt 36 properties that are currently in the program from participating. Those 36 properties represent 86 recycling units, so billable recycling units. Again, this is alternate language. It's not something we currently discussed. Those 36 parcels account for about 2.6% of the revenue from the existing recycling program. We did talk to Borden about the concept of, whether this kind of level of units was removed, whether that would change their willingness to continue with the program. And the indication was that it would not, so that they were comfortable that at that level they would still continue with the program.
That was going to be one of my questions, and that's excellent to hear. I guess that was my assumption, Andrew, and sorry to stop you.
Sure.
My assumption was that it was going to mess with what their plan was and what they would accept, but that's good to know.
Yep.
This would be maybe a Will question, and Will is here, but I'm concerned a little bit about, and we'd have this problem no matter what, so I guess whatever we decide, I'm concerned about movement of multi-unit properties, and maybe that concern is not valid because we don't have much movement. A property could be able to physically be a 4-unit today, let's say, and maybe not many of them, but could be counted as one unit today, is it often that it's switching
No.
and somebody's reclassifying it to a multi-unit? Or
No.
are they pretty consistent?
So, I mean, to classify something as a formal, like,
I guess that's partly what I'm
you
asking
know,
too.
a
What
quadplex
process would that
versus
be?
a triplex or something like that, there are structural things you're gonna have to do to the building. I mean, Will, I'm thinking zoning even restricts some of that in some cases. Is that correct?
It does, but I don't see that being
Yeah.
a concern.
Good.
It would not be a common occurrence or
Excellent.
an easy switch to say, you know, if somebody was just trying to avoid the recycling fee, it would be very difficult to go through that. That would be a difficult process to go through in order to.
That's great
to
news, because
complete.
my concern was going to be, what kind of mess would it be to keep track of it? But if it's pretty consistent, that seems like it's going to be easy to keep track of what those properties are, and it's going to stay that way for the most part. So
Correct.
that takes care of my concern. Sorry to interrupt. Andy.
That's okay. I just wanted to note, obviously, these 36 properties would be exempted. They would not have, they currently have access to the program to recycling. Those buildings would not have access if we make this change. Some notable ones, one that I would note is clay court duplexes. There's a number of duplexes on one property. So it actually isn't a 2-unit, it's multi-unit in that case. So that may be one that I know in the past has used the recycling. However, the way the ordinance is structured, Commission could choose to offer recycling on a voluntary basis to property owners of, say, 4 up to the 24 units we previously had under the program. That would allow those that still wanted their tenants to have recycling to have that option. It would be a voluntary thing, but that would be a separate action the commission would need to take. It's not set within the ordinance as it's written. Ordinance allows for it, but it's not set in stone. So,
What kind of action would that look like?
probably a
A
motion,
resolution.
yeah, a resolution or motion that we make as a commission to offer access to those. I
To
mean,
designate, say, a parcel, or these 3 parcels are requested?
No, I would
the
say
property
what you would
owner.
be doing is offering access on a voluntary basis to properties with 4+ residential units.
And we just can't put that in the ordinance?
You could, but that also, if you wanted to make the ordinance and just make it affirmative that those people always have access to that, no matter what, on a voluntary basis, you could. I had the language structured that you could in the future allow for even commercial to be provided access by vote of the commission, or for larger apartment complexes to be offered access to a recycling program. So I just included these additional units grouped them in with that. So if you want to make it a definitive part of the ordinance, we could tweak the
I
language
mean,
to do that.
let's imagine this clay court property comes to us or to you, and I'm kind of think it would, maybe they'd contact you. I'm fine with you bring that up to us, and we do, if we choose to, take a motion and
Yeah, it wouldn't be on a
Exempt by
property-by-property basis, it would be a class of properties is how I would envision it. So basically say, any property, any residential properties with 4 to 24 units would be allowed to participate in the program at their choice.
not a
for
mandate,
example.
but an
Not a
opt-in.
mandate, but a choice.
I like that.
Question about that, would, if they would want to opt in, would there be some sort of a contract that they're in for like a year at least? Or that way there's not like, oh, we'll do it this month, but not next month, that kind of a thing? Because that would be kind of a pain to have to keep track of all that, the
Yeah.
flip-flopping.
I have to think about that one a little bit from a logistical standpoint, but that would be a logical way we do it on a year-by-year basis, or maybe it would have to be the term of the recycling contract is probably.
that makes the
more
most
likely
sense.
scenario.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah,
But ultimately, it'd be up to the property owner, correct?
correct. So it wouldn't be a tenant, choice, it would be a property owner choice, seeing
Which
as they're
is
the
their
ones that
property.
are responsible for the billing.
Again, as a reminder, all of these recycling fields, as we're doing it, will be billed to the property owner.
Correct.
Tenants will not be billed for this.
Correct. So those are 2 options with language. Again, because we hadn't discussed it in the previous meeting, I didn't want to just substitute the language wholesale. I wanted to make sure the commission had the option to consider both. Other things that we would kind of need to discuss, depending on whether the commission moves forward or not. If you choose to move forward, we still had an open question about whether to move forward with a contract for 1 or 3 years of service for the recycling program. And so we will need some direction on that if the commission chooses to move forward with the second reading and approval of the ordinance.
There's only one motion to accept the second reading. So you want an
Correct.
additional motion on the 1 year or 3 year?
Either a motion or just consensus direction on how you want me to proceed, because I'll need to bring you back a contract
Okay,
at some
I got
point.
you. Are you good with your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have questions?
I did have one question. You said property owner. If the tenants, the utilities are in their name, it still goes to...
There would be some instances when we'd be creating an additional bill. In a lot of cases, in multi-unit dwellings, there's a water bill that is in the property owner's name, and we could just add it to that. But if there isn't, then it would be, creation of an additional bill. We'd have to do it once, and then it would,
So it would be property owner, not...
the property owners.
Correct.
yes.
Okay, okay.
And I think we looked at that, Ken. There were not that many.
It's not going to be a ridiculous
Yeah,
amount.
it was not a large number of
And
people.
again, we can track it down, and we'll do it once, and we'll take care of it.
Any other questions?
I'll just speak up and say that I like the alternate recycling ordinance draft that Andrew has prepared, and I like his reasons for doing so, and I like that it doesn't jeopardize the program. I think it's a pretty good solution, and we even have the additional kind of backdoor opt-in that he talked about. I like what's proposed as far as the alternate goes thus far.
Any other questions? Oh, I'm good. I just want to make sure we're good. We're good? Is there any comments from the public? If you would like to make a comment, please come to the podium. Make your comment about recycling.
Jamie Craig, 66181 North Lakeview. First off, I want to say thank you for hopefully excluding 4 units or more. It is helpful. However, that only accounts for probably 1 to 3% of all the multi-units in town. So most multi-units are duplexes or triplexes. So I would ask that all multi-units be excluded. I don't use this service. I don't feel I should have to pay for this service. I know you guys got 30, 40, 50 people who want the recycling. There's 4 of us landlords that got 400 people that don't want this. So if you choose to do it, please choose 1 year. So maybe in a year, we can make a change and realize more people don't want it than want it. So I ask you exclude all multi-units. And I ask that you please consider that. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Gary Nisley from Nisley Disposal, 70528 South Centerville Road. I'm concerned about one thing. I understand this is going to be a mandatory, all homes are involved. Is this correct?
Yes.
My question to you is, as a commission, how many city residents, specifically this group here, know about this, that their bill will be increased?
It's been advertised, and we've talked many discussions over the last 3 months.
I'm good with that, as long as you're going to be able to take the heat when they come to you because they got an increase in their bills. Because if I do an increase on my trash bill, they get pretty upset sometimes over a minor increase. It's okay. I think recycling is good. And like Jamie, I would agree, not on the commercial side, specifically to the landlords, because the landlords are stuck in a catch-22. They're already facing people that can't pay their bills. I talked with Jamie's dad, and he's got a tenant that's not paid him for almost a year. And how's he gonna squeeze blood out of a turnip? You can bill him, Larry's gonna have to pay it, but Larry can't pass it on to the tenant if he can't pay his bills already. So I think as a landlord-tenant thing, it would be okay to do, like you said, to those that really want to recycle in the rental units. If they want to pay that themselves and you want to bill them through the city themselves, that's fine. But to the landlords, I don't see that that's going to be a kind deal. They're already struggling. So for my concern is, I guess, that you consider the landlords and that you've let the people know, because they will probably come up for air, even though you say you've told them. I know. I don't know, any questions for me?
I have a question.
Sure.
So, let's say we just do away with recycling and we'll start putting it into your dumpster. So now we're gonna have to get a 96-gallon dumpster. How much is that gonna cost you now, because you're gonna be taking more trash to the dump site? They're gonna start charging you more trips for you. How much is that going to save the citizens in the long run, or is it going to cost them more in the long run?
Well, one thing about it is you're not going to have as many trucks running the streets. Recycling trucks do add to the city street wear. It's just no questions asked. They're automated, so they run the street twice. We run it once. We intentionally do that because it's less, for us, time consumption. As to your question for the volume, I don't know what they're pulling out. I'd have to look at their trash truck, like their numbers of tons that they're pulling out. We don't specifically service all of their customers, so if I would have to guess, I would guess that it's going to increase, but not probably as much as what the recycling program does. However, I believe that the recycling is a good thing, and it's taking a stream of material and repurposing it. So because of that, I think it's good if the city does it, but I think the residents should have a choice in it. I guess enough said in the fact that you're allowing me to service customers in town, and I appreciate that. As a hauler, that's a privilege. And so to bring as economic of a cost to them as I'm able, and still make a profit, which is all of us that are here are trying to do, we need to look at what is the most cost effective. Sometimes recycling is not cost effective. So if that's a choice that each individual wants to make, they can do that. But I would guess that just from what I see, Borden's in town in a section, they probably have at least 2 truckloads, maybe 3 truckloads of volume they're pulling out. I can't tell you how much that would add to my flow, but it surely would increase my landfill tipping. Yes, it would. So there's another one.
Do you offer curbside recycling, or would you if we got rid of their,
I don't and I can't. I'll tell you why. There is no way in the world that I can afford to buy another truck to do recycling for what they're doing it for. Borden's set up, they have a place to take it. I don't even know where I'd be allowed to take it if Borden wouldn't let me dump at their site. It's just flat cost prohibitive. I'm just being honest. I've talked to Aaron about this. I said, I wish I could, but even if I had a dump site that people brought it to, where am I going to take it? There's always got to be that question that you have to answer, and I can't tell you that I know, because I don't have the deep pockets the big boys do. Borden's owned by a larger company now. I don't know what their long-term goal is. I'm happy that they're offering you this at the rate they are, because I don't know who else is going to do that for you. I've never pursued that, but even Waste Management's not offering you this rate. And they're the largest in the nation. To be honest, that's pretty surprising.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any questions? All right,
Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Did you have?
Am I allowed to ask Gary a question?
Yeah.
Gary, we're paying $8 if this passes a month extra. Your cost would raise $8 a month on your customers, is that correct? It would raise it, but not to $8 a month. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Andrew?
I just wanted to mention, we did look at what it would take or what the impact would be if we eliminated the duplexes and triplexes. We estimate it'd be another 140 roughly units that would be excluded from the program. And that would equate immediately to 140 residential units or recycling units that would be out of there. That would take it below the threshold that we discussed with Borden in terms of like where they were comfortable continuing. Not saying that they wouldn't still continue if we did that, but that was something that we looked at, as an additional, and what the additional impact would be.
So if we go below that, it'd be possibly more.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to talk with them about whether it would be a higher cost or whether it would be we're not interested in doing it at those levels. I mean, it's close enough. I don't know that would be the answer. Higher cost may be more likely, but I wanted to put that out there that we did look at that as a potential as well.
Okay.
One more thing I failed to mention. If someone wants to recycle, they do a really good job at cleaning everything up and making sure that the product in the can is good. But we see the other side where people are trying to get rid of their trash through the recycling stream. And then the landlord calls and says, hey, these tenants left and they left a big old mess and they put the trash in the recycle cart. Can you dump it for me? So I hope you understand, I'm not against the tenants recycling, but likely chances just them getting it into the right bin would be a hurdle. Then, if it's not cleaned up right, guess who it falls on? And I've seen Jamie long enough to know that he doesn't need any more work on his plate. And I know others that have expressed the same concern. If the tenants are living in an apartment, likely there's a reason they're there. Less is more for them. Sometimes it's a struggle for them even to get the can to the curb. I've seen them dump trash in the back porch, put it in the garage, rather than, even though the landlord pays it, rather than taking the bin to the curb. So just for whatever that's worth, I think we could do our landlords a favor if we consider them in this.
Thank you. Anything else, Andrew? Okay, so there is a motion on this, right?
There's a motion for the second reading, yep. So I would say, please just clarify whether it was the alternate language or not.
Okay,
I'm for the alternate.
but you gotta make the motion.
Somebody has to make a
Someone
motion.
has to make the motion.
Make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we move that the Sturgis City Commission consider this the second reading of and approve an amendment to the city's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, Section 2-302, Collection of Charges for City Services, and Chapter 42, Solid Waste, creating Article 2, Curbside Recycling, Sections 42-351, and Sections 42-51 through 42-58, effective December 4th, 2025.
And just
So-
clarify, is
so-
that
The amendment
as
is
okay,
amended. I put as amended.
okay.
Will that do?
Option two.
Option 2? Okay.
Yeah, just say with option 2. Yeah,
Okay.
so just say with option 2.
Option 2.
So prior, the motion's been made, but we still haven't determined, did it mention which option as far as length, duration?
That would be a separate
That'd be
issue.
separate.
Separate issue.
So we have a motion
Support.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Aye. So moved. You get that, kid? Or you want to do a roll call?
No, I got
Okay.
just the two of you.
Okay.
So then
So then, before we move on,
I need direction on whether you
Direction.
want to do a 1-year or 3-year length of service.
Can you remind about the cost difference on that?
The indication, when we bid it out for 3 years, previously it was 6 months, $6 per month. The indication was $8 a month if we do a 1-year from Borden when we talked to them.
but
It
it was
has not
6
been formally bid as a
It
1-year.
was 6 with a renewal increase yearly, a percent increase?
I'm sorry? Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
so it was
that's
6
correct.
plus a renewal increase at the 1 year,
I just-
or anniversary, or whatever that is.
Voice it and
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, no. Thank you for that clarification.
I think I said this at the previous meeting for the cost, and I think it's a good thing, and I think we've heard quite a bit, and it's been aired to Gary's question, which is a valid question. It's been aired quite a bit, and we've discussed this in many meetings. I think the cost is a valuable savings, and so I'm supporting the 3-year contract. However, I understand if there are fellow commissioners of mine who only want to give this a try with a 1-year consequence instead of a 3-year. So I'm in support of the 3, but I'll support, obviously if we have a consensus, I have no choice, but maybe a try it for 1 year is the option the commission decides to go with.
Go
I will
ahead.
tell you, I've received in the last week 5 more phone calls, not emails, one email, but like I think a few of us.
Yeah.
And 5 more calls asking to please approve it and to do it for 3 years because they wanted the lower cost. So I guess I would be supporting the 3 year at the lower cost.
I'd prefer to do it the 1 year, give people a chance, see how much extra it is gonna be. Because at the end of 3 years, it's gonna be up there over $8 anyhow, because there was an annual increase on it.
Well, just 3%, right?
3%.
I think it was 3%.
A max
That was 3.
is an option.
I thought I had the numbers, I seen where it said close to
It was 3% annually.
like $7 and
They
80
just have-
cents at the end of the 3rd year.
I just remember the verbal. I thought I heard a
Oh, we
verbal
could
of
do it.
3% per year.
Let me see, we could track down the bid.
Yeah,
just,
check.
So year 2, you'd be 18 cents more.
I would echo the same thing. I try a 1 year.
At the end
I
of 3,
think
it'd
a
still be
3
less
year.
than $8.
Oh, far less.
Plenty less than 8.
6.18, and then 6.37, 6.36.
So you're still 6. Say that again.
6 and
Commissioner
change.
Miller? That was 6.
If you take $6,
3%.
I just got rid of my
6.18.
calculator.
6.18.
6.18, yeah.
At the end of 3 years, what would it be? 6.18?
637.
At the end of 3 years?
So the
If
3%
it's-
wouldn't be an increase on the 618, it would just be an increase on the $6. Is that
Yeah,
the way they?
3% on the $6
Well, no, you
each.
take, the
3%
way
on
the way I read
$6
it, you
each
take the 6.18, you multiply that by 3%,
Each.
1.03 for the next year,
Each
and the
year.
next, as long as the contract is in effect.
And
But
so-
6.36 is not
So-
getting
From their bid,
paid.
it's around 3%, I guess I would say. Rate may be adjusted annually or on January 1st, no less than 3% based on CPI waste index from October of the
No
previous
less.
year. So it's,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Based
based on
on
the
a CPI
CPI waste
Yeah.
index,
Which is
which I
that's a
haven't kept
fixed
track.
thing.
You don't know the true cost then. And for us to go 3 years doesn't make any sense.
Well,
It says
Yeah.
no less.
Yeah.
No less. I mean, contracts. TJ?
It's based on, so first off, this is not the contract. So before,
Yeah.
this is Andrew going back, this commission would have to ultimately authorize the final contract. It would be reviewed more in detail to lay that out. The bid, it's a one-liner that talks about it. It is at least anchoring it to an index in which can be traced and monitored to determine. It's not just a unilateral, arbitrary, we want $5 more per year. The CPI index justifies what it is, but even if that stays stagnant, they're getting at least a 3% increase. So I don't know anything about what a CPI waste index is, so I don't know if that goes up or down or what the fluctuation is there, so I
But
can't.
there, state law is tied to the Detroit CPI in a million places, so I mean, that's a common thing. It's basically saying to the going rate of inflation. This is just saying to the waste version of it, which I don't, Andrew, would you mind looking into?
I
your
probably would
expertise?
look into exactly what the historical performance of the CPI waste index has been, so that we would have an understanding
There you go.
of how high it has gone in the last 15 years or so.
We have 3% numbers though as a benchmark to look at.
Yes.
Just clarification too, everyone is being charged $2 now. So it's not $8 more. It's either $4, I'm not making light of the money, but $4 if we go with the 3. I mean, yes, and then it's $6 more if we go with the 1. So it's not $8 more or $6 more. We are being charged 2 now. And the other thing that, and I think I talked to you about this, Jamie, and I am very cognizant of the fact that there are people who don't pay their bills. We know that. We know we have a lot of poverty. But the truth is, you could pass that extra 4 or 6 on to the renters, correct? I mean,
I could pass it on to my tenant. You could exclude rental property too.
And-
We're still friends at the end of the day.
I know.
Barry?
Thank you, Mayor. As most of you know, I've been to just about every one of these meetings that have discussed recycling. Listened to a lot of the conversation regarding
Just talk to the mic a little closer.
regarding what should or shouldn't be done, and it's a very interesting topic, as I've been an advocate for recycling since the late 80s. But I think the word that comes to mind for me as I listen to the deliberations is the word commitment. And what are you willing to be committed to? And I don't have any understanding with all the low bid item awards that the city does, why we would take and choose to take a 33% additional premium for the first year to go to a 1-year contract, when even if it was 10% a year, starting at 6, it would not get to $8 a month. That's all.
Thank you, Barry. Any other questions? Okay, city manager needs direction on a 1-year or a 3-year.
I move we approve, just make it a motion. What would you like? Do you
I
want to take a
mean,
roll call consensus?
If you want
No,
to,
just
if you want to make a
consensus.
motion, I would just have the motion, I would recommend the motion be direct the city manager to bring a 3-year contract for waste services, or for recycling services, excuse me.
As
to the
presented.
commission.
I move we direct the city manager to do just that, to achieve and pursue and achieve a 3-year contract for recycling services under the ordinance that has been read for a second time tonight.
I'll
So we
second.
have
As
a motion
presented.
I'll second.
And second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Get that, Ken?
So I've got Smith, Perez, Justin, okay, those three, everybody else was aye?
You and HF?
Okay, so Wiki, Perez, Smith, nay. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Last thing before we move on, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
does the commission want to take any action to allow additional rental properties to opt into the program? Or, excuse me, additional multi-unit properties to opt into the program?
So long as they're locked into the duration of the contract with the hauler, correct?
Okay. I mean, it's your,
I mean, that's the way we.
it's the way you want to
Mr.
do it.
Wiki
I mean, what you can
addressed
do
that, and I
is,
think that's-
if there's interest in that, I can bring back formal language that'll do that at the next meeting, and we can go
To
from there. Does that work?
exclude the duplexes?
I'm sorry, no,
them
this
opt
would,
in.
this would
Oh, let 'em opt in.
allow the groups that we excluded to opt in.
So we're not excluding the rental properties?
We're not excluding the 2s and 3s. The ordinance as read was
Kathy's
included
motion
them.
that she made.
Okay.
Personally,
I'll
I
bring,
feel,
I can bring something back as long as we have consensus to do that.
personally, I think that it all should be voluntary, but, so, yeah.
You know, I believe in recycling too, but I think it should be each individual making their own choice, not having a municipality, big government telling them what they need to do with their tax dollars. And I stand by it. I stand by it.
That's the tricky part of it, though, is they said that they wouldn't come
Yeah,
if we, that's, yeah.
yeah, you wouldn't have the service then.
We could still put that on the ballot in the future, next year,
Yeah.
and then we only have 2 more years to.
Beyond the 3, I mean,
Beyond
starting
the
in
three.
29 or whatever.
Right.
It needs to be on the ballot.
That's fine. I'm all for it.
Do you have the consensus?
I believe I have the
Okay,
direction
good.
I need. Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay.
Moving on to new business, The zoning district change, first reading, 408 West Congress Street. Mr. Wilpler. Welcome, Will.
Thanks. And I need to recuse myself out of this.
You just abstain, or does he have to leave?
He needs to abstain. He can
He doesn't have to
stay in
leave.
the
He can
room.
be here.
Okay.
As the property owner.
Well,
he
it's
can
TJ,
stay.
I don't know,
Yeah.
TJ, you're the,
He can stay there, he just doesn't, he should not participate in the deliberation
Okay.
or the, vote.
But there could be questions for him, correct?
As the
Could we ask
property
him
owner.
As a
questions?
property owner, yeah, you can
Yes.
ask him questions,
Okay.
sure. We've done, and this is not unprecedented, when we had,
Roger.
Roger was here, and it was a
Right.
similar situation, so. The
Okay.
question should be limited to the property, though.
Thanks, Commissioners.
okay, Will.
First reading for a zoning district change for the property located at 408 West Congress. This is was previously owned by Omni Source, so it was like must have been part of a recycling. But Dan Boring has purchased this property and wants to rezone it from manufacturing over to R3. Dan currently owns the property at 406 West Congress, which is up in the purple area. That is zoned R3, intends on turning that into a single-family dwelling. So he has purchased this with the idea of tearing down that industrial building, removing the concrete, and then utilizing this space for some accessory use for his building. So he would, I think his plan is to use additional parking and maybe put up a garage at some point.
Is
Planning
that the blue, Will?
The one that's highlighted in blue with the
Highlighted
yellow
blue,
dot
okay.
on it.
All right.
So it's a big parcel. So again, this request is to change that from manufacturing over to the R3 with the intent that Dan would look at utilizing this for some accessory use in the future. So just trying to get it prepared so we can use it. From the city side, this property's been for sale for many years. We have worked with a couple of potential buyers for it, but nothing had ever came through. It's been a code enforcement issue for the city. From, again, staff and planning commission side, by having Dan purchase it, tear down the building, remove the concrete, it's gonna clean up that, he's gonna maintain it, so we have a property.
This is a view from Congress Street, right?
No, that's the view from Wenzel.
From Wenzel, okay.
So, planning commission did have a public hearing on this on July 15th, and they did recommend the zoning district change to the city commission for approval, so I would be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Will?
God bless you, Dan, for doing it.
They're just putting pickleball courts.
Sure he will.
Is there
Sure.
any restrictions on when the building has to be done or moved in by, or?
No, all we're doing is changing
Just
zoning
changing
district.
it.
There is no, at this point, he could build a house there if he really wanted to after he tore it down. It would allow that. For him to use it as accessory use, he's gonna have to go for a variance.
Oh, okay.
So it's because there's a railroad there, so the two properties can't be combined, so he'd have to go request a variance that would allow the accessory use on another property that's basically separated by the rail. That's fairly common throughout the state that I've seen, that when people buy stuff right across the street, or right across the railroad right-of-way, that they have to go through the variance process. But
So you are planning to tear down the granary?
More than likely. I mean, I don't think it's salvageable. I doubt it.
What are you gonna do with all the stray cats that live there?
You'll find out.
Don't drop my mind there, you got enough.
Can you take care of all the others in the city while you're at it?
I would like to.
Any questions for Will? If not, what's the wish of the commission?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission consider this the first reading for the rezoning of 408 West Congress, parcel number 052-777-146-00 from manufacturing zoning district to residential 3 zoning district as presented.
So the motion? Second. And support, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And you're abstaining?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the zoning district change first reading for 907 and 1101 North Nottawa. Welcome back, Will.
thank you very much. So Radiant Life Church owns these properties. Let's see, so 907 is the main church parcel. And 10, 11 up there, just north of it, which is in blue, those are the two parcels we're talking about tonight. But the purpose of this is so they can go through and do a lot combination of their, I think there's 5 parcels, 907, 911, 1011, and 1005. They'd combine those all into one parcel with the same zoning district. And then they would utilize 911, which used to be a residence that they used to use for one of their employees. They would turn that into church offices. So by being able to combine it, allows them to utilize it for accessory use for the church. So by cleaning this up, we get rid of the split zoning. That we allow them to utilize 911, 1011, which used to have another church on it, which they just recently tore down. It allows them to rezone that to R3, and then again, allow us to combine all those parcels, clean it all up. They'd only get one bill from us in the future. I think that's all I have. Any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions for Will?
No?
Yeah, if we zone it R3 residential, then they'll be able to relot it and sell it off to build houses there too.
I mean, they could potentially do a land division in the future. Maybe a different size requirement or whatever conditions may be in place at that time.
Any other questions for Will?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission consider this the first reading for the rezoning of 907 North Mattawa, parcel number 052-120-003-00 and 1011 North Mattawa, parcel number 052-777-010-20 to the residential R3 zoning district as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next is the outdoor training facility, special land use, first reading. Will again.
Thank you again. So again, this is creating a special land use for outdoor training facilities in manufacturing and the manufacturing 2 zoning districts. Little history. So Glen Oaks had approached us a few months ago and they wanted to utilize a parking lot for an extension of their CDL training class. So currently they have CDL training where they're just teaching them at Glen Oaks, but they don't have a location for their truck. So they had approached us like, hey, what can we do? We presented it to the Planning Commission. We didn't have a use that it fit under, so the Planning Commission directed staff to write an ordinance, and that's what we're presenting tonight. So some of the things we changed initially, we were looking at strictly doing vocational training, but we wanted to look at it and say if somebody wanted to do driver's training or they wanted to do fire training or some other type of outdoor training, this opens it up for somebody else to utilize it for something else outside of just strict vocational training. So as part of the ordinance, as you can see, we'll go through all of the different ordinances that we have to amend to create this, but creating the definition for outdoor training facility. And then in the manufacturing zoning district, we have to create the special land use. That next section above it, we had to create an exception, go back up to one, Ken. That, because this is an outdoor area, the principal use based on number 1 says that everything has to be conducted inside of a building unless it's accessory to. In this case, this would be principal use outside of the building, so we had to give the Planning Commission an exception to allow that. Same thing in manufacturing 2, had to create the special land use and create the exception. And then we created the special land use. So we basically used, if you guys remember, we created an outdoor storage area, not accessory. We kind of utilized that same special land use when we were creating this one. Same thing, so we, again, the location requirements, not putting it in any front, side, or rear yard setback area. Have to secure it with a 6-foot tall fence. The Planning Commission may require screening depending on its location. The lighting requirements, just as if it was a parking lot, so if somebody wanted to light it up, it's not going to shine more than 0.5-foot candles from the property lines. Surface material requirements, so again, parking area, maneuvering lanes, driveways. So if it is a driveway or parking area, it's going to be solid surface material. There is an exception, so if it would warrant grass or gravel or something else for whatever, maybe somebody wants to do a marching band training facility where having grass may make sense for that, where they can present it to the planning commission, and they could grant an exception to it. If there was an existing building and they had principal parking, or principal building parking there, you can't utilize the principal building's parking requirements for this outdoor training facility. We would allow portable toilets, equipment storage areas, and other accessory items as part of the initial request for the special land use, so basically keeps them from having to go through another request if they do it all up front. The portable toilets, though, have to be screened from public view, so if they're going to just stick it there and it's going to be like a permanent fixture, make sure it's screened from public view. Let's see, so hours of operation, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. from Monday through Saturday. Noise mitigation, so again, engine braking, leaving the trucks running for a long period of time. Those should be prohibited unless they're part of the training. And then state licensing, if they're required to have state licensing as part of their training facility, they're going to provide that to us, so we make sure that they're keeping up with that. Site plan review is the same thing. If we have an existing parking lot that has went through the site plan review process, they don't have to go back through that process as part of the request. They would just have to make the formal special land use request. But if that property had never went through the special or site plan review, they would have to go through the site plan review process to make sure they meet the city requirements. It would be an annual review on the permit once it's initially granted. So just like we've done with some of the other special land uses we have in the city, after the first year, we just bring it back to the planning commission, let you know or let them know that, hey, they're doing a great job, or that maybe they're not doing something appropriate. We need to talk with them about it, or they may not move forward with asking for another year on it. So it gives them an opportunity to let it go back, and we can give it a vacant use. So happy to answer any questions. Aaron?
Yes, thank you. A little bit of a random question. I think when we've heard about school projects in the past, they're governed by Michigan law much differently, and therefore don't have some of the oversight that we deliver. And I'm thinking of the project that they're working on now that Dr. Ebert came and kindly told us about. I know they have a driving school on their parking lot. Would they not go through the same process that we're talking about tonight?
City-owned property, or school-owned property?
The school.
School-owned property, they would not have to go through this.
That's what I thought. Just because of how they're governed by Michigan law.
Correct.
Not because of any say-so of ours, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're excluded from zoning.
Just curiosity, thank you.
Now, if a school goes and uses private property, then it falls under that.
Renting in much the same way. So like what the community college is doing, it's not
Right.
their,
Or
not
like
their
the
property, but
auditorium is being utilized by the schools for the cooking or the
right.
culture.
Good point. So if I guess there's an exercise in thought. If Glen Oaks was buying the property and they're not, it would be
Glen Oaks isn't excluded like the public schools.
okay. Community college is different designation.
Correct.
Learn something every day.
Will, how would we screen the porta potties? What do you
Probably
mean
just
by
like a 6 foot tall, like, privacy fence.
around it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just to shield it so it's from the public.
So anyone down the road that would want to do this in this district would just come in and apply, like?
Just go through the special land use
Just go
process.
through it? Okay.
What we do is we give them, there's an application process, which there's 5 simple conditions that they have to meet, which is just standard, that says basically they're not going to create a public nuisance, they're going to follow the city rules. And then they have these special conditions, which are, that I just read off to you, which they'll come back and provide a statement that says, hey, we meet all of these conditions. And if maybe they see some of those exceptions, it allows them the opportunity to put a statement together that says, hey, we would like this exception for this reason. So that way when we present it, we have all the information.
Okay.
So this would make it possible for, like you said, anyone that wanted to do this down the road?
Correct. In the manufacturing and manufacturing 2 zoning districts only.
Right.
It limits them, right? I mean, because not everybody's got the extra land or the extra parking lot.
Yeah.
Don't they have to pretty well follow those rules anyway, whether it's would be as a special land use or just a use?
Some of them, but not all of them. Some of them, they're specific to this use. Like in most circumstances, we wouldn't allow the porta potty to go there and stay all the time. That's going to go through this permission. you know, the parking area exception, if it was being used as parking, they're always going to be required. They wouldn't even allow them the exception as part of this type of a special land use. So the hours of operation, some of the noise things that allows them, that as long as they're utilizing it during the instruction, that it allows the trucks to continue running, where maybe another situation might not allow it.
Any other questions for Will?
Just, is this tied into the CTE program by chance, or
Not,
is
not the CTE
No?
program at this
Okay.
point.
CDL
This would just be Glen Oaks Community College currently.
it, okay.
But it could be, I mean, it's one
I
of
was
those
just
things,
curious.
because it's an outdoor training facility, it could, there's a broad range of things that
Okay.
they could utilize it for.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission consider this the first reading of amendments to the zoning code for outdoor training facilities as presented.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you, Will. Next on the agenda is the water trailer replacement. Mr. Tom Sikorsky. Welcome, Tom.
Evening, Mayor and Commission. As I detailed in your packet is a request for replacement of a water trailer. We are currently using a flatbed or an open type trailer that was purchased back in 2004. And it no longer really meets the needs of, or suits the purpose of the department, since we're moving forward and having to replace over 150 lead services a year. So what we are requesting is the purchase of an enclosed cargo trailer, which will help service dual purposes, both as a water service trailer for all our tools and equipment and parts, and as a break/restroom for crews while in the field, trying to keep them on the job site longer and out of the climate. As we are looking into 26, we are looking to jump on doing water services as early as the end of March and work right into late fall. And if it's like this November, it's going to be cold and wet. So we're looking to improve conditions on the job site, helping out staff for their safety and as well as protecting our equipment. So Commission approved for the fiscal year budget our capital fleet an allowance of $40,000, and we requested, we have a quote from Viking Size for the enclosed United trailer. I listed, or I fat fingered it in your packet. It's actually a UXT model. So we budgeted $40,000. Viking Size Great Lakes is providing it for us at $34,800. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions for Tom?
The current trailer you use as flatbed, you use that as well for the excavator, things like that?
That's a different one. So
That's totally different?
That's a totally different setup. So back in 2004, they basically got an 18-foot flatbed trailer, equipment trailer, took the ramps off and designed it, fabricated up where the tools for the job site was on that trailer. But now we use that trailer, but we're also stocking trucks and carrying pipe and fittings all in the back of a pickup truck. So with this trailer, this is basically going to be a mobile stock room, and we'll be able to keep all our equipment and tools and all that stock inside in cabinets and locked.
So that you have a trailer currently for mini excavator, those types of,
Yes.
that type of
Yeah.
stuff already, that's
Yep.
not this trailer?
Not this trailer.
And you're planning to get rid of this one?
We're actually looking at repurposing this trailer for, as a flat open trailer for lawnmowers, as another task. We're looking at green space, taking back green space from contractors, so this trailer would be another for used in the mow crew if we decide to go that way.
You also talked about it being a safe, dry, comfortable place for employees, during, bad weather situations for like breaks and whatnot.
Correct.
Have chairs, tables, kind of like that kind of stuff, or just kind of hanging out?
No.
I mean,
So-
currently, it's like what, in trucks?
So right now, the guys are loading up in weather like this, we load up heavy gear, they'd be sitting in, if it's really cold out or in the wintertime on a water service or a water break, they're just climbing in the trucks.
Yeah.
Where we're proposing where it's get them out of the wind, just provide enough heat to take the chill off, and in the summertime, it's going to be climate controlled.
Yeah. That's why I asked, they currently just kind of get back in trucks?
Currently, they just get out of the wind, they're still in their wet heavies, and where this is going to give us an opportunity, if they get wet on the job, to have a place to change out on the job site without having us be soaked or have to run back to the shop and do a change.
Well, something like this would be nice if you're leaving it on site, going to lunch, kind of things like that, people coming up there and stealing things. I don't know if you've had that happen or not. but-
We haven't had that happen, but as we get more involved
I could see
with
that.
our lead services, and we're planning, as we do our planning, we're going to try to go down. We got a list for next year, and a lot of it is right down the street, one right after another, so it'd be nice just to have something that's readily available, where our tools are there, all our stock is readily available, and not just having to load up every morning and hopefully we grab everything. A little more organized.
And I'm guessing the description of the trailer gives it away, but is it that 8.5 T4 T8? Is that an 8.5 foot wide, 24 foot long? Is that what that's called?
Correct.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Because the description of it wasn't in the quote, it didn't really mention much about
Yes.
those dimensions, except for
Yeah,
7
so
foot high.
we're 8.5 by 24 foot long, and we're going to be set up where we've looked at every option, and this is going to make our jobs a little more organized instead of organized chaos.
24 is long enough for things that you need.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Tom? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the purchase of the United Trailers Model UXT enclosed trailer from Viking Sives Great Lakes in the amount of $34,800 as presented, and authorize Director of Public Services Thomas Sikorsky to execute all necessary procurement documents.
So we have a motion
Second.
and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Next on the agenda is the flatbed 615 refurbishment. Mr. Tom Sikorsky.
Thank you, Mayor, Commission. So again, included in your packet is detailed quote and description of refurbishing an existing flatbed diesel 4x2 truck. As we've got into this side of the work, we're experiencing that refurbishment is a possibility and is more cost effective. Late last year in 2024, this particular truck had some engine work, minor engine work done, and we feel that we've done an evaluation and there's still some useful service life in it. However, the bed is just a flat bed. The sides don't drop down. It's heavy, it's steel, so it's getting near its useful life. So we've looked at Viking Sives, since they're done our big trucks. They also provide and build their own stainless steel boxes, and we are looking to put a stainless steel box flatbed on this chassis. And we've done the analysis, and we're, as I've detailed out, is refurbishing is gonna save us about a third the cost of doing a new outfit. A brand new chassis similar to this one is close to $74,000 plus the $34,000 upfit. So if we were wanting to replace this truck, we're over $100,000, and we're looking to refurbish it for a sum of less than $34,000. So $30,747, even numbers, to refurb this truck. I'll be happy to entertain any questions.
I like saving money. Question?
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you're using an 18-year-old truck and finding value and keeping the truck. You guys must love it, huh?
So there's guys
Good
that
truck.
love it, and it still has relatively low miles.
I was gonna say it's a Ford. It's a great truck.
It's a Ford, it's a diesel.
Come on. What would have died?
No, but seriously, I do like the fact that you think outside the box and doing these kind of things to these vehicles instead of spending money that we don't have to spend on new. That's really cool and resourceful.
This is a diesel truck, right?
Yes.
So it's all not having a new DEF?
Correct. It's all pre-emission, so that was the other reason. And we had put some work into it last winter, and it runs, and like I said, it's low miles, and there's still a lot of useful life on this chassis.
Tom, what's the turnaround time to get this from start to finish?
So for this truck, approval tonight, so everything in commission approved the refurbishment of 610 and 611, which are the dump trucks. We're scheduled for Q2 of 26. So basically, all three trucks will land in Battle Creek roughly April 1st is the intent right now.
Oh, nice, okay.
This flatbed will turn around probably 6 months.
Do you have other two-wheel drive trucks plowing snow? Like, does
No.
that work?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does. This truck actually has a 10-foot whiteout blade, and it will push more snow than any other two-wheel drive truck in the fleet.
Okay.
That I don't have, but.
Okay, any further questions for Tom?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the refurbishment of DPS Unit 615 by Viking Sites Great Lakes in the amount of $30,746.57 as presented.
So we have a motion and support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the tower rebuild. Mr. Brandon Schrader, welcome, Brandon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Presenting tonight the rebuild of our nitrification tower. This tower was installed in 1996 during a large plant SRF expansion project. This is a secondary process. It's in between the intermediate clarifiers and our final settling. The tower was added for additional nutrient removal of ammonia to meet state permit limitations. During the cooler months, October to April, limitations are less stringent than those in the warmer months. So that'll come into play here shortly. After we had an inspection done in the summer, just this past summer, with West Tech Engineering, that is, they are the supplier of the equipment. They actually kind of piggybacked off of another project and were able to stop by our site and do it just to kind of check things out and make sure everything was in order and looked well. During that inspection, it was verified that the equipment was in good shape as far as bearings and how the equipment was rotating and moving. So the overall condition of it was in great shape. We had nitrification tower rebuild plan for fiscal year 24-25. We bumped that out 5 years due to that inspection that we had, under the impression that the equipment was in great condition. So the one routine maintenance task that we were going to do on the tower, late summer, early fall, was a seal replacement. Once we dove into the actual seal replacement, it was confirmed that after removing components to install the seal, that we realized the center column, center mast, which is it's the main housing of the distributor itself. It holds the distributor arms, and it connected to the drive unit itself. So without the center mast, this support of the arms go down, we lose rotation. Wouldn't be good in our case. So it was determined that that was in rough shape, and in order to prevent catastrophe from happening, it was we determined that it was a need to get done as soon as possible. So West Tech, working with West Tech, they provided us a proposal to perform this replacement task in the amount of $132,868. That proposal, obviously right up there. Like I said, this is the main component of this tower distributor. So included in the proposal of the center mast replacement is all the main bearings, bearing covers, seal covers. So basically, once this rebuild is done, we'll get another 20 plus years out of it before this rebuild has to be done again on these components. Due to the elevation of the tank, at the door entrance it's 30 foot. At the peak of the cover, it's roughly 45 feet, guesstimating. So use of crane, heavy equipment is needed. So all this specialty work, and then also sole source vendor for West Tech, as that is their equipment and they're the only ones to get it. So as I said, this project was moved from 24-25 to 2030. We've had some updated equipment costs for our intermediate screw pump replacement. We have $1 million in there for this fiscal year 26. That project is going to be moved to a further year due to increased projected costs. So the $1 million that we have in there wasn't going to be sufficient to cover that replacement cost, so that will be bumped. This replacement job is of much more necessity. They're all necessary, but there's no redundancy for this part of the process, so this takes precedence. And happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Brandon?
Just one, do you think you're gonna want a contingency budget on this also?
Not on this one. They seem pretty firm on sticking with the 132, and that's with crane and everything, heavy equipment, so they're pretty confident in their bid.
Thank you.
Their quote.
For the work that was originally budgeted to push it out, that's going to be okay?
So the original work that was pushed out, that's what this is.
Oh,
Yep.
gotcha, okay.
Yep.
I think he's referring to the $1 million project.
Yeah, the million.
Yeah, that'll be bumped out, so
Right.
that'll be probably 26 or 27, I think is what we're probably looking to do in that.
And you'll be okay with being able to push that out?
Yes, because we have another project that project actually has redundancy. They have backup pumps that are getting replaced after Thanksgiving. So those will be all new, and the screw pump and reducer will be serving kind of as redundancy to those now, because we'll have newer equipment to replace it.
Okay.
Any other questions? Nobody wants to go home tonight, huh?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sturgis City Commission approve the proposal from Westcock Engineering LLC for the rebuild of the wastewater treatment plant nitrification tower in the amount of $132,868 as presented.
Should we have a motion?
Second.
And support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you,
Thank
Brandon. Okay, next, moving on to commissioner and staff comments. We'll start with Sadie.
I have none tonight, thank you.
Mr.
Nothing
Rhodes?
tonight.
Anything from, I don't have my glasses, I'm assuming that's Chris?
Did have an outage, I believe it was Sunday, just due to the heavy snow that crews came and got restored fairly quickly. So that heavy snow just broke a few trees around town and got some power, but nothing major, so yeah, good.
Great job. Taylor? Tyler? Tom?
Nothing, other than crews are still doing leaves, and as noted yesterday, we'll start Monday with a special rush pickup due to the weekend weather.
Brandon?
Nothing.
Will? I know Erica's got a speech, right? Welcome tonight. Anything from our finest law enforcement officer? No? Anything from the media? TJ?
Nothing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Cook?
I do have a couple things. Tom mentioned the special brush pickup. I'll just mention, hopefully, we can continue to push this message out that if you're going to be putting brush, please put that on the terrace or the right-of-way, not in the street itself. And then also, if you're doing brush, please separate that from leaves to help DPS with the pickup, make it more efficient and move things forward, especially as we're doing both brush pickup and leaf pickup at the same time on this one. Also wanted to mention just some street project updates. St. Joe Street, that's to the punch list phase, so we should be pretty much wrapped up on that. 2025 streets paving, Barry's gone. They were scheduled to pave this week. That got pushed back a little bit by the weather. May have been out today, but if not, they're going to be out before the end of the week. Getting that taken care of. We may have some structure adjustments, but otherwise that'll be wrapped up for the season, and then they'll come back in spring to finish that project. And then finally, Michigan Avenue Lift Station. Tom, did we get pumps started up yesterday and today?
We are officially running on the new station. The old station has been demoed, curb has been installed, and we are on task to be paving base coat on Monday
Okay, so
and wrapping up on Wednesday.
curb was ahead of schedule, so
You said the old structure's been demoed? The
Tom?
old structure's been demoed, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes?
So there's your Michigan Street update. Last note I have is, well, second to last note, Chamber Annual Dinner is tomorrow at 5:30. I believe the commissioners who signed up got an email reminder from Julie. And then just finally a reminder, we do have several items in closed session tonight.
Okay. Commissioner Smith?
Nothing really, just tomorrow is Sadie Hawkins Day, and sorry ladies, I'm taken. That's about it.
Commissioner Burke?
Where are they taking you?
To the loony bin a few more nights like tonight.
Nothing in that.
I got a funny one, but I'll keep that one to myself because Kathy will hit me later tonight. Commissioner Miller?
Got nothing.
Commissioner Harrington?
No, I just want to say, yeah, St. Joe is a really nice street. A couple weeks ago, I walked the sidewalks and checked those out. Those were really nice. And then last week, I drove the length of St. Joe. Really nice, yeah. Smooth sailing.
Yes.
Unfortunately, people may start sailing down that road now, yeah. That's it.
Commissioner Abs? Commissioner Bourne?
I would agree. That was probably the first time I drove down St. Joe in a really, really long time.
Commissioner Wick?
Yeah, just one quick one. Commissioner Abs and I were talking before, just our previous meeting, when we're having to vote for mayor and vice mayor. I would have to say it's probably my least favorite meeting because it makes it seem like we're against people, and I don't like that feeling. And she's saying the same sentiment. And so
We could
I
change
know
the
we're
ordinance.
we're looking at the charter and things like that. So
I mean, change
maybe
the-
there's a better way to do it. Is all I'm saying.
I would agree.
Commissioner Mullin? I mean, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
it's-
Vice Mayor Mullin.
Yeah, it's been about 4 years since I've sat in this chair, and the view is different and beautiful. I can see the people's faces a lot more, it's great. But thank you to those who put me in this spot. I truly didn't expect or want to be in the seat necessarily, but that you put me here, I'll do the best that I can. And with that said, the chamber dinner tomorrow night, I will not be at, and I apologize in advance. My travel plans were already in place, and I feel that it's important for commissioners to be involved in those types of things, and especially the two people that occupy these seats to be there. And I didn't expect any of this before, and I will not be there tomorrow night, and I apologize, and I will plan to do better and be more present at those types of things in the future. But besides that, I'll just end with this. Kindness comes in many forms, but always from the heart. So let's all be kind to one another.
All right. I as well, Commissioner Wick, don't like the, how that shakes out, but I remember my first time sitting there and I'm like, well, I gotta pick somebody. But anyways, if anyone's a veteran here, I hope you had a great Veterans Day. I know I was a cheap date. I had a couple lunch and dinners that were kind of free, so that's kind of cool. But it was great to hear our power was restored pretty quickly, you know, just like we normally do every other time. So great job, guys. And hope you guys have a great work week. And with that, we are adjourned. I mean, with that, we're going into closed session.
Need a motion.
And we need a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
We need to.
For the
And that
purpose
is
of.
for the purpose of
Yeah.
purchase
For
of
the purpose
property,
of-
union negotiations, and to conduct a periodic personnel evaluation at the
That's
request
what you
of the
said, right,
employee.
Mark?
So we have
Yeah.
a motion and
Okay.
support.
I got all that, okay.
As presented.
Commissioner Burr,
Yes.
Commissioner Boring,
Here.
Commissioner Wiki, Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrington.
Yes.
Commissioner Abs,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins,
Yes.
and Mayor Perez.
Yes.
We are in closed session.
We're in closed session. Yeah.
Bathroom break?
Bathroom break.
All right.